Auto-Trail's Imala range offers the DNA of the more luxurious products at a more affordable price point. Since launch 2 seasons ago, we understand it's been somewhat successful. So it goes forward into 2017 with a brand new layout. And this one sports the fixed twin single beds, certainly a layout du jour. So let's see what they've done inside to make this one work in the Imala range. Now, this parallel lounge configuration will be familiar to anyone who has a touring caravan or is thinking of crossing the Rubicon and taking up motor caravanning instead. It's extremely sociable and bright, open and airy aspect too, thanks to windows on the side of the van and up above a skylight above the cab. There's a real feeling of width here, which is very impressive, and great standing height. If you just look at what they've done in the overcab section where they've allocated it for storage, but there's still this cutaway so that you can stand up in the lounge and get an amazing amount of overhead height, so there will be never any chance of feeling slightly claustrophobic. The cab is well spec'd too. It has steering controls for the audio system mounted on the steering wheel, which is a great way of being safe on the road. You also get a USB socket, cab air conditioning, cruise control, and techno vents in the dashboard. Those are the silver surrounds for the ventilators. As well as that, you get the double cup holder down below, plus the USB and auxiliary inputs. And Auto-Trail has a reputation for offering extremely good media packs on its vehicles, one of which supplies this drop-down television, which is ideally mounted for watching the Magic Lantern from the lounge. Now, this galley kitchen has a huge amount of preparation space. Just look at the length of this counter, obviously augmented by the fact that both these lids are in the lowered position. Talking about equipment for a minute, you have a dual fuel cooker, 1 electric hot plate and 3 gas burners, a separate oven and grill, and up above in the overhead lockers, plenty of storage which passes the cereal box test, and there's also racking for your crockery. Down below the worktop, a dual fuel fridge with separate freezer compartment, 2 drawers and a cupboard underneath. Now, none of them are soft closing. This is an affordable van after all. Now, the Imala 734's rear bedroom has much going for it, not to mention its 2 6-foot long separate beds. I tested them just now by taking my shoes off, and I reckon they break the tape at just under 6 feet each. Now, you don't have to have this configuration. You can pull out the slats here into the gangway and rearrange the cushions to make a bed that's transverse across the width of the vehicle if you want to sleep together. All very good. Now, the ambience here is spot on. 2 large windows on either side, a roof light up above over the gangway, and plenty of LED lighting in backup. But there is one other standout feature of this rear bedroom. You have the wardrobe here at the end of the gangway. Now, while that is very useful for accessing your clothes without any impediments at all, it does present you with one slight issue when you go to bed in the evening. Night, darling. Darling? Darling? The chances are, if you can't find them, they're probably asleep in the make-up bed in the lounge. Isn't it amazing to be able to film from within a motorhome's washroom? It's not always possible, but it is in the Imala 734, and a fine arrangement it is too. I'm standing in the shower compartment, which is divided from the rest of the washroom space by this bifold door. Up above is a handy rail for drying wet clothes, and in the washroom itself, a half-length mirror, swivel loo, sink under a window, and above that a vanity unit for keeping your lotions and potions out of sight, and a handy roof light up above for letting all the steam and condensation out in a jiffy. The Auto-Trail Imala 734 adds yet another popular floor plan to this growing range. Last year's edition, of course, was the 730, an island bed model that at 7.25 metres long has the same footprint as the 734. But Imala is a very impressive range, and this model in particular, with the flexibility of those twin single beds that make into a transverse double, has a lot going for it. And you have to ask yourself the question, if the entry-level product is this good, then why bother with anything else?